The first track we gonna do, I got both of these tracks loaded up, but the first track we gonna do, um, I think the first track I'm gonna try to do is "Being Your Lady" by Denise. So I'm gonna do that one first because that was how I did it basically when I did it the last time. Was I started with hers and I went on to Janae Rio. So yeah, we're gonna do Denise's "Being Your Lady." This is Denise "Being Your Lady." Let's get it.
Though you drive me crazy, you're my baby, 'cause you make me feel understood. Yeah, treat me like a woman should. Yeah, just make me feel so good, so good. It's the way you handle my emotions, boy. You got me vibing like the ocean. Found the key, somehow you got me open, and that's why I love being your lady. I love being your lady.
What up, Heather? Thank you for tuning in to the live. We're doing a music review.
I love being your lady. I love being your lady. You buy the things that I want. You take me to fancy restaurants. You surprise me with flowers. Treat me good every hour. Never touch the door with you. Yeah, even pull the chair out to you. I am filled with gratitude. Yeah, it's the way you handle my emotions. Boy, you got me fighting like the ocean. Found the key, somehow you got me open. And that's why I love being your lady. I love being your lady. I'll be
All right, all right. That was Denise "Being Your Lady." So, I have tapped in with Denise's music before, so I'm pretty much very relative to how she creates songs in the midst of situation. I feel like this one, she's her vocal range in it, she's very like, kind of driving in. It's like this warm feeling I feel like with her vocals that's kind of like giving this perception that she's trying to draw you in with what she's saying and how she's communicating it. So I noticed that right off the bat, which is good for a song like that because she's more or less talking about if she was with a particular person, what would be the outcome type stuff. So yeah, I like how that is basically something that she put into the parameter of the song. Another thing I can look at or that I see is that the song's message is predominantly talking about how she feels in the midst of being with a particular person that is basically doing things for her and basically like connecting the dots to basically be in this sort of relationship with the said individual. So she's obviously putting on the table the idea of what she wants that particular person to be about, whether that's financially helping her in the midst of it, or it's just doing things like, basically being a gentleman in the midst of the situation. So, yeah, I can say the message obviously gives off a pretty good. What's up, Visions? I can say the message basically gives off a pretty good ideal of how you obviously can treat a woman in the midst of the situation, and how like most men feel when they are, I guess, deeply in connection with a particular woman. I obviously think, if I remember clearly too, as well, I wouldn't put out there that that's the only main goal that you should have in a relationship, is that financially you shouldn't only like somebody predominantly off of a financial um contrast, you feel me? So it's kind of like a mixture too in there too. She's kind of putting in there how financially you could do something to help her, and then she's, I guess, saying that the gentleman's gestures are what also help the conglomerate of the relationship itself. So yeah, that's a good thing to note. I feel like in the midst of that message, so it does give you the idea of what you're knowing, what you can get into, I guess, with Jay Denise in that reality. So yeah, she's really good at describing it too. I like the description of how she can describe the message of what she wants to hear in the midst of the situation, or what she wants the person to think about her in those realities. So it ultimately sounds, in my mind, like a really dope song in those regards, because of the way that it's the communication. The cover art, I do like the cover art. She's holding like a rose. She's in a yellow dress. And I ain't gonna hold you. I think yellow actually fits her in the midst of the situation, because Jay Denise is light skinned, so it kind of fits in with the perception of her cover a little bit when you really look at it by context. But yeah, I could say really dope song. I think I don't feel a reading of it being like a song that's pretty like not good. I feel like somebody could listen to that if they was into a particular person that way. That's one thing it could do, is make a particular person feel some type of way, about another person that way. You know what I'm saying? Not just her. So yeah, that's one thing I could put out about that song. Pretty dope song though. So yeah, just a cool. So let's get it. Aha. We good, we good. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Without further ado, this is Janae Rio's song, Standards. So yeah, y'all. Let's get it. This J Rio Standards. Let's get it.
Yeah, yeah. For the first time, I'm feeling good about what I bring to the table. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I worked really hard to get rid of all my doubts. So that now I'm ready and able. Yeah, to get all dolled up and trying to figure it out. If I look good enough to catch one look from you, you. And then you come around, tell me you wanna get down. But if that's all you want, I'm having second thoughts. The star of the show made me lose all control and say yes when I'd usually say no. But how could I resist when your caress on my hips got me biting my lip as we dance under the moon? The scene is perfectly lit, something I'll never forget. But is this nothing new to you? You is this just your standard? 'Cause this is beyond my standard. Oh no, I'm leaving you with the standard, yeah. And now you made me raise my standard,
Okay, okay. That was Janae Rio Standards. Um, what I could say about this song is I appreciate Janae Rio for letting me review that track and have that track be put in rotation. Um, I like how again in the message, how the message is being communicated. She is very good at um, being somebody who can let the message be the main piece of what she's trying to communicate in the midst of the situation. So uh, the message wise, I really like that about how she basically did that song. I also like the I like the vocals. She put a very good vocal range in there, you know, in the contrast of it. Um Jay Janae Rio, as far as her voice is concerned, man, that girl be rocking it with that voice because that voice, her vocal ranges be going just. And that particular song, I liked it how the vocal ranges went as well. They went pretty good as far as I was like hearing them and stuff like that. And I think I remember last time when I was reviewing them, I had some wine, so I probably probably didn't construe it by a contrast of detail. But from this situation, it seems like I like how the vocals are, and I'm obviously not drinking no wine, so that's why I can tell kind of how the vocals are really ranging in how the voice is being perceived on the song. The message, the message, I like the message by contrast because it is literally talking about the standards of, she's meaning like the standards for like kind of the same thing that we got from the song with Jay Denise. Only difference is I think is when a woman is more or less talking about being in a relationship opposed to the standards of a situation. The standards are usually something that some people say that you meet somebody with, so standards are usually a thing that women will meet you with in the midst of it. And it's not a compromise thing. Like they're not about to compromise that kind of shit. So usually, that's pretty much what the difference between this song and that one kind of gives the contrast of. From Janae's standpoint, I feel like I can get where she's coming from as to why her standards kind of why she put that message into the song in general. Because some women do kind of put themselves in the predicament where they have to kind of lay standards out to be something that they're basically doing the particular standards for, and some people, I mean, create standards that are just unrealistic, that cause other people to not be able to, manage the ability of the aspect of that. You can hear that in the middle part of the end of that song where she's saying she can't meet these standards. You see what I'm saying? Because that's like a certain person giving this perception that the standards is gonna be good when the standards might not be. You see what I'm saying? So I get that kind of contrast when I'm listening to it or when I heard it. It just gave off that type of vibe when she was talking about it. So I could say because she communicated the message really good. I could say because I really heard the vocals in it and everything. It's a really decent song. It's a really good song. I feel like somebody could listen to that and probably like understand where she's coming from it. Obviously, she kind of it gave me the same a little bit of the same vibe as the first artist, where they kind of slowed in to make the track basically like fit the vibe of what they was trying to communicate. You know, Jay Denise's obviously merged a lot into the song, whereas the Jay Rios merged into the song, but it gave the song a little bit of a more like I'm trying to see like it gave the song a little bit more of a kind of like a wraparound, if you will. So like you kind of heard it from this more like very like just kind of pieced together tone. You know what I'm saying? But from both songs in general, I feel like from Jay Denise's song, this is a cross examination too. So from Jay Denise's song and Janae Rio's song, I feel like they both very solid songs. Like you can listen to them and actually feel like they make sense to you. I wouldn't say that they give me any vibes that's like the mumble rap music or the music that kind of just doesn't necessarily give a message whatsoever. So I can really read these songs strategically and how they both are communicating the messages they want. With Jay Denise, she's talking about you know being in a relationship with somebody, what it looks like, if it was her in that midst of the situation. That's why her song's called "Being a Lady," being your lady, because it's a communication of what she wants to be in the midst of basically being in a relationship with that particular person. And then the song with Janae Rio, Standards, she's setting the tone of what she pretty much wants the relationship to be in the midst of situation. So one is telling basically a story of what the relationship will be if you chose her in the midst of situation. So it's more like a not really giving the standards wise, but it's just telling people what the relationship looks like. So that's a visualization of the relationship. And then with Janae Rios, she's giving you the cut point in which you are connected to being with her as far as standards are concerned. So they really solid songs. I feel like anybody who listens to them, I feel like they can get a perception of what they really want to understand from both songs, and really like just vibe out to them because they really just they're very vibey songs. I feel like they're very enchanting. You can get that enchanting vibe from them too because they kind of like you. It's like you listen to them and you was on a cloud or some shit. You know what I mean? Floating on a cloud type shit. So they're very tuned into the imagination with how they can kind of just give you that vibe about the whole thing. But yeah, y'all. This has been the YMDR music reviews, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. I wanted to also let y'all know too, man, if y'all ever wanted to support the brand of YMDR, YMD Records, the Cash App is at the top of the screen. You feel me? Because YMDR ultimately, whether y'all know it or not, man, YMDR is just a space to try to reconnect people to the brand of the industry, but from a perspective that is not turning basically the concept of the black people from a stereotypical concept. Because what I see a lot of in the industry is the music industry very much is always perceiving black people to be a particular way. Whereas to YMDR is almost trying to give people that different perception in the midst of that reality, because ultimately we all have a perception that we want to bring into the world and show to the people. And what better way to do that but through a brand that can basically give you that perception, and also, change the conglomerate of what you're basically listening to and hearing, whether that's through music, whether that's through music reviews, whether that's through podcasts, whatever. You feel me? If the perception can be changed or given a different perspective of, YMDR is the place for you. You feel me? That's what we do here. You feel me? I like to give different perceptions on that because I can just see how, it seems the mainstream has chosen to make it one particular way, and we try to give a different perspective from that, where it's not a mainstream idea. You feel me? It's like a real life, real perception idea. So yeah, if you donate to that, hey, we appreciate you tenfold. But I be hollering at y'all. I'm gonna have to do some other music reviews today too. So if I get back on here after I get done with this one, I might be doing a music review, but it depends. So yeah, because I gotta take a little breaks in between. But yeah, I thank y'all for tuning in, man. This has been the YMDR music reviews. Y'all have a nice day, and y'all stay impacted, never controlled, man. As always, peace out.